Here at Ritchie Brothers, picking up a trailer. I picked up trailers at auctions quite a bit. It never surprises me now what you see in an auction. It's supposed to be an equipment auction, but I see antique washing machines, a barbecue pit, truck hoods, a sink. What else we got out here? Got some pretty nice pickup trucks. Got some trusses for a house. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing good, and I hope your trucks are treating you good. I'm about 50 miles outside of, no, about 40 miles outside of Denver, going back toward the house. The day did not work out as planned, and that's not always a bad thing. So I came into Denver, brought the frac tank in, pretty good paying load, and on the way in I booked a load to pick up today. It's supposed to be a flatbed load with an air conditioner on it, and it was supposed to take me back to Tulsa, and I was paying $3 a mile, which is pretty good for Denver. And I was surprised that there were several good loads coming out of Denver that were paying pretty good. So I delivered the frac tank in Denver, and I looked to, on the map where I had to pick up this next flatbed, and it was only 10 miles away in Golden, Colorado. So it took me about 15 minutes to get over there, and as I pull up, well, first of all, it's the first time I've ever driven down into Golden, Colorado. I've always just flown by it on 70. Beautiful, beautiful little town. And key word is little. It was difficult bobtailing. I had to go through downtown and then back off toward the southwest part where the mining college was. And the town, the streets were small to begin with, but the town was full of tourists. I'm not sure what they were doing there. It looked like a bunch of them were hiking or something, but there were just hundreds of cars parked all along each side of the road. So it was some places were really tight just trying to bobtail in there. And I was thinking the whole time, whoever got this flatbed back here, I would have liked to have seen that. That would have been impressive. They would have been good. But so I finally get back there, having to drive real slow. These people are walking out in front of me and trying to parallel park. And I finally get back there and I see the guy I'm supposed to meet, and he walks up to the truck and says, "We have a problem." And I was thinking, oh God, what is it? Because I was already thinking in my mind, I'm going to have to wait until midnight or something, 3 o'clock in the morning to get out of here, so all these tourists will be gone and I can make these turns on these small roads. So he turns around and he points over behind a building, and I see a little gooseneck trailer there. And he goes, "That's your trailer right there." And I said, "No, it's not." So walked over to it. It was about a 30-foot gooseneck, and it had the air conditioner sitting on it. So the load was supposed to be meant for a hotshot truck. So I called the agent, let him know, and I said, "Man, I didn't tell him how far my deadhead was over there, but I said, I'm in Denver. I'm kind of probably screwed for the rest of the day." He goes, "Man, just go ahead and charge me $200 for a truck order not used." And I said, "I really appreciate that." But if it had been a flatbed, I wouldn't have been able to get it out of the parking lot, number one. It would have been a magic trick getting it out of the parking lot, and then getting it back out to I-70 would have been a real trick. So I I drove 10 miles to get over there to see it, and I only wasted about 30 minutes. So $200, still a good payday for doing nothing. Went over to the TA, which is about 5 miles down the road, and parked up and looked at the load board real quick. And I was real disappointed. All there was about 100 loadout trailers, and I just wasn't wanting to do a loadout at that point. So I thought I'd just go in and grab something to eat, come back out, looked at the load board again, and I scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and there was another frac tank coming out of Longmont, Colorado. And so I called the guy, and he goes, "Yeah, I have 3 left if you want one." Paid $4 a mile. So I tried to talk him up a little bit, even though I was paying really good already. And he kind of laughed. He goes, "Man, that's that's all I've got in it." And usually the frac tanks pay pretty good because they're paying the butt. So it was at a Ritchie Brothers auction, and I picked up quite a few trailers out of auctions doing the power only thing. And it's a gamble because people are getting rid of their crap at the auction. You don't know if it's even going to have brakes or lights or whatever on it. So I got there and it was in fairly good shape. Fortunately, I didn't have to do any adjustments on the brakes. 9 times out of 10 on this oil field equipment, you better have your ratchet socket, because they will undo the brakes so they can tow it around their yard and with their equipment. And not, a lot of times they don't have a truck out on the site, so they're just towing it around with a backhoe or something. So they undo the brakes. Unfortunately, everything was working on it. Knock on wood. Tires don't look great, but yeah. So what was supposed to be a $2,000 load that I wouldn't have been able to deliver until Friday morning is going to turn into an $1,800 load if I add in the truck order not used. So take the good with the bad, but the best part about it is you guys are enjoying the scenery, because I'm out in God's country again. I'm out here. I just a couple weeks ago I went out and I did a run out to Salt Lake City, and I made the loop around Colorado basically. Just love driving in that area. Freight's not the greatest, but that's the lane I love. And then I took a week off and I just wanted to do it again. The weather is just perfect out here this time of year, so love the freedom, being able to go where I want, when I want. And when you get disappointed, like the truck order not used, when you're out in a running the lane that you love in a nice area, it makes it that much better. You're not stressing out. I'm sitting there looking at the Rocky Mountains. So I'm going to end it here, short video, and I owe you guys a part 3 of getting your authority video. So doing frac tanks, if you don't have a winch on your truck, you have to find somebody with a forklift or something to lift up that tank, because as you can see, they sit straight on the ground. Obviously this guy's gonna hook up to it, pull it out some, and then I'll back up underneath it here. So I want to point out a couple things. This one, actually, the lights are working, which is very surprising. But 9 times out of 10 when I pick up these things, they will have the brakes adjusted where they're not touching, so the people in the oil field can move them around. And they will have this air tank back here open, so you have to come back and shut it. I hear a very, very small air leak,